who is a creative director and at The Works Interior, an award-winning interior design firm based in Delhi NCR. The Works Interior specializes in bespoke interior solution and furniture design. With over 25 years of experience in interior design, Devika's discerning eye for detail and collaborative work process has led to the creation of spaces that reflect the narrative of people who inhabit them. She believes that design is not always about doing something different, it's about doing the mundane things differently. So let's welcome Miss Devika.
So, I actually just wanted to hit upon the fact that we are all talking about sustainability, but how should we try and sensitize our designers talking or using sustainability during our design process, right? We all know it's a very well acknowledged fact that our major environmental concerns have arisen because of pollution and consumption of natural resources. This being one of the most important issues in the world at present, it concerns people from all walks of life, not just a select few, but everyone is getting affected by it. So therefore, the UN, other international organizations, some governments of various countries have tried to put forward some ideas and suggestions to improve the current situation and reduce the damage that has already been caused to our environment and ecology. And as you know, Akash has already discussed so many steps. What I'm now going to get into just suggesting is that how can we as designers try and use sustainability while we are we get a project and we start designing on the drawing board. How can we think of sustainability from that point onwards? Now, keeping all this in mind, it again obviously is the responsibility of designers, architects, product designers. We need to approach design thinking with sustainability at its core. So from that perspective, basically our design process, design strategy, design system needs to have a very updated approach. So how do we sensitize our young designers and our workforce regarding the problems that we are facing in the world today? I think it starts by in-depth research. Whatever project that we've got to, whether it is interior design, whether it is architecture, whether it's manufacturing a certain product, how are we going to sensitize ourselves, our young designers, and our workforce towards it? So while we are doing the research, I think we really need to look at local materials. What is it that can be produced around a 200-kilometer radius? Like we talk about food, we should also talk about materials that can be sourced locally. We should try and hire manufacturers around us. Even if it's within the country, let's not run out of the country and look for people from other countries and not run to Italy and China. Of course, this particular ASTEC that I went to, I found so many interesting eco-friendly materials. There was corkboard and there was bamboo and there was, like Akash mentioned, even glass can be such an exciting material to use and which can be recycled and reused n number of times. And for me, yes, low VOC products, because we are into interiors, we do furniture and we have to stain the wood in so many different ways. So a low VOC product and finishes are extremely important. Manufacturers, we have to look for manufacturers who have this design ethos going forward in their own spaces. Like we cannot be looking for manufacturers who don't believe in sustainability. And then hiring local carpenters, local polishers, or looking for painters, and our country is very, very rich as far as craftsmen are concerned. So yes, so researching while our design process is extremely, extremely important. Not just researching the design, but researching the materials. That study has to be in-depth, and that study Akash has already spoken about in so many different ways. I mean, we have the internet to ourselves. Google is full of, we just have to type one little tiny word and we have tons of options. एक intention होनी चाहिए. I think अगर वो intention हमें मिल जाए, और अगर if we, like Uttam ji, you've said about making that lifestyle choice, if that comes from within, then I'm sure we will find solutions. There is no end to good solutions. So that's how I feel that we can sensitize ourselves and our young designers towards this. I do have a small little presentation. Okay, so you've already heard about my company. It's called The Works Interiors. So at the core of it, we are really trying our. Why isn't it moving? Yeah. So let me see. I think what we've all understood, and I'm sure our viewers have also understood, that at the core of sustainability means making correct choices. What is not cool? Look at that poor polar bear. He's less ice and he's now surrounded by more water. We are literally burning the earth and using materials that are damaging the ecosystem. I think this is also because we are, too much into consumerism. We are seeing ads day after day, minute after minute, and then we are made to believe that we need that product without really understanding. We just fill our homes and our spaces without understanding that at the end of it, the moment we don't feel the need for it, we are just going to discard it. But where is this going? Where are we throwing this? So the oceans are getting filled. We have these landfills which are just becoming like mountains and becoming higher peaks than our normal mountains. We are not understanding the depth of our consumerism. Now, according to me, there are 3 pillars of sustainability. Number 1 is longevity, which means that if we make a product while we are designing the product and we keep this one pillar in mind, that means that we are going to use those products which will increase the lifespan of the product. That means the product is not going to see the end of day and be, damaged or will reach the landfill, which also leads to our second one, which is flexibility. Why not design products or spaces that have a multi-purpose use? We've already seen that during the pandemic. We've used our homes as offices doubled up as, we've tried to use our space in many manners. Similarly, let's get down to designing products which can be multifaceted. And the third pillar is durability, which obviously speaks about the quality of that product or space, which is long lasting, which doesn't just end in a couple of years, but gives you more tenure. These are some of the work that we've done. By longevity, durability, and long lasting, let's try and create furniture. I mean, for me, it is furniture because that's what I do. Let's try and create furniture that will not just be discarded by the first user, that can be passed on to the next generation. Maybe just change the upholstery and you still have a sturdy block of wood, or it can be reshaped and recycled. The contribution from us towards sustainability and towards living a decent, sustainable life, we definitely believe in going local. Our whatever we source is from India, whether it is 200 kilometers or not all the time, but yes, from within India. We create livelihood by engaging carpenters and polishers. We create a lot of stuff that is handcrafted, and of course we do use machines, but that machine are also being used by the carpenters. They're being taught how to use this, so we are not making the workforce redundant. And third, we are engaging a lot of artisans other than carpenters and polishers, because our country is extremely rich as far as craftsmen is concerned. You can see here that we have upholsterers, carpenters, polishers, and we're trying to create a very customized solution. I'm just going to run you through a couple of projects that we've done. This particular house in Delhi, we've sourced everything that you see here has come from reclaimed wood. And this is Uttamji. This was one client who chose his lifestyle to be such. He came with this to us, so it was beautiful working with him, because he said, I don't want to buy anything which is going to damage my earth. Something that you buy a reclaimed wood, and he only put us in touch with a vendor who only sources reclaimed woods. Something we sourced some of this from a tsunami that had happened many years ago. Mm-hmm. So all the furniture that you see is all reclaimed wood, and so it's just, so again at the design board you have the material with you, and you just put your heads together and you decide what's the kind of look that you want out there. So even with reclaimed stuff, a house can look nice. This is Gaurang Shah's store. He likes to be called a textile designer, though he is a fashion designer. He is one of the pioneers of reviving the weaving industry back in India. And what is interesting is that he actually married the South with the East and West, and he uses different techniques and weaves these beautiful handwoven saris and garments. Mm-hmm. And his design brief was also that since I'm weaving everything is handwoven, I want something earthy. I do not want to even make anything new. Go and source heritage products for me and reimagine them and use them in my store. So this is what we did. Again, we had recycled wood for the rafters in the ceiling, and all the products that you see, the partition, this charpai that we just put a huge mirror on it and used it like a big center table where the saris could be opened up and seen by clients. The sofas are all vintage pieces that we just reupholstered. And the partition, what we did was we've used his very, very old 100-year-old saris, South saris, and used them and infused them between glass and just created an interesting design element. And then, of course, he was like, I don't want to use wallpapers, I don't want to use paints. And we got his kalamkari artists from south of India, and they were given a free hand to and they used just a basic sketch pen, and they've drawn these beautiful scenes from Krishna Leela. And like you can see, we've tried to use parts of the cycle. Somewhere we've used a very, very old, this on your left, you can see a 150-year-old wooden leg base of a charpai. On the right is a heritage vintage chester. So just trying to show you that there are ways and means you can do beautiful spaces by using recycled products and turning it into a fun design project. This is Casa K. Again, these are very affluent people that we worked for. A huge house, but they were also very, very particular about using everything Indian. So here you can see that we've got this tree of life. It's a marble inlay work by an artisan from Jaipur. All the rugs were sourced from within India. They're all hand woven. Even the upholstery is all Indian hand woven upholstery. Everything is crafted in our workshop. This is treetops. This is again, everything that you see is hand woven, handcrafted. This is where I'm sitting right now. The ceiling on the right, these were some boxes left of a wooden flooring. So we just decided not to discard them, and we used it as a slanted ceiling out here. Since we are manufacturing a lot of furniture for our own clients, we end up having these odd shapes and sizes of wood. And so we just crafted this lamp out of it. So I think that's it. So I'm very happy to be here on this panel discussion, simply because I've learned a lot, and it's also quite interesting to see that it's not a very disheartening situation that we are in. I think people are making sustainable choices. They're trying their best in their means, in their budgets to do the right thing. Thank you.